Hey kids, today we're going to be talking about two of my favorite things in the world, food and drugs. Specifically, the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA is a regulatory agency within the federal government, which essentially means there's a main organization to regulate food and drugs within the nation. They exist to strengthen the safety and standards around the area they specialize, in this case, food and drug safety. The FDA's main goal is protecting the public health by assuring the safety, efficacy, and security of human and veterinarian drugs, biological products, medical devices, our nation's food supply, cosmetics, products that emit radiation, and tobacco products. This is done by constant innovations in medical and food technology to improve health. So let's look at a bit of history of the FDA. The FDA originated in 1906 when the Pure Food and Drug Act was passed by you know him, you love him, Theodore Big Stick, Teddy, TR, Trustbuster, Hero of San Juan Hill, Balgan, Friggin, Roosevelt. All validated nicknames for the 26th president of the USA who passed this act. Although Harvey W. Wiley was the chief chemist of the USDA Bureau of Chemistry and was the main guy pushing this act. He used elements that could protect these products better than anyone has ever done before. Teddy put Wiley in charge of examining foods to make sure they were pure and safe, and sometimes this act was referred to as the Wiley Act because of his influence. Although this organization was checked by the judicial branch for the ability of declaring a food adulterated or misbranded. The judicial branch briefly defined the Bureau's powers and made sure there was nothing happening involving fraudulent intent with the products. In 1927, the Bureau of Chemistry was officially remade into the Food, the Drug, and the Insecticide Administration. 3 years later to the Food and Drug Administration. The head of the FDA currently is Robert M. Califf. He was a past commissioner of food and drugs from 2016 to 2017. He's a very accomplished person and he's pretty well known in the medical world. Just look at this for a second. All in all, this guy is pretty damn qualified, and with his experience in the field, he's determined to strengthen programs and policies to protect the public's health. The fiscal year budget gave the FDA a total of $8.4 billion for all the aspects and responsibilities they hold. All this money goes to investigating in core operations, enhancing food safety and nutrition, advancing medical product safety, user fees, pandemic preparedness, modernizing infrastructure, etc. So, Americans aren't known to be the healthiest people on the planet, so one of the FDA's biggest initiatives is the nutritional value of our foods and how Americans can get greater access to them. On September 22, 2022, the Conference of Hunger, Nutrition, and Health was held and a national strategy was released. It was to end hunger and to increase healthy eating activity by 2030 by reducing sodium among food supply, promoting healthy eating habits, updating and making labeling more accessible, educating the public, and reinforcing innovation. The FDA has been big on vaccines and drug preparedness because of COVID. They make sure that all MCMs are working efficiently, safely, and effectively to avoid another pandemic. The FDA works with other agencies to make sure they can make programs to respond to the emergencies. Another initiative is new drugs to help cure tropical diseases that go under the radar. Priority viewer vouchers are examples of the FDA trying to get new drug innovations as quickly as possible to attempt to treat these diseases. This is done with limited profit as the incentive is to develop more treatments. I already mentioned that the judicial branch can regulate and interpret the FDA's power, but Congress can also enact statutes. These statutes can force the FDA to make legal binding regulations based on these statutes. They're usually general, so that it's left to the FDA to interpret them and get creative with it. But Congress is making sure the regulation is still being followed. And although this is commonly not used, the Senate has the power to decline the president's nominee of commissioner. This typically never happens, but by a simple 2/3 vote, a potential commissioner is a no-missioner. Anyway, that's all for today. I'm Owen Plord, and happy National Tolerance Day for all of you who actually listen to this.